Alright, so what's up YouTube? It's the Night Saint here, back with another video. And this video is gonna be about be compassionate to the ignorant, right? And I think this is more speaking to the sense of, I think just nowadays, we're just going through society and just going through your day to day, you realize people are very judgmental. Like me, I about to say, to an extent I'm judgmental, but it's like a source, like I said, it's a bad thing I do. I be talking about people, just be joking, just to make the day go by. But it's something I'm cracking down on myself on and living it. Cause I ain't gonna lie, sometimes that shit really do just be negative as hell and it's fucked up. That's how I even do that. But I'm getting better at controlling it. Like I said, if I didn't have a working job where I was around people, where I'm to a certain extent, I'm like a jester. Like I be trying to entertain people in a certain extent. But when I get away from it, I'm gonna stop doing it for real. But not even that, to that extent I'm talking about to the extent of, like, you know how when people get like valuable information, the first thing they try to do is try to wake everybody up. They try to tell people the right way to go, this way, they basically trying to, you know, be that guide and trying to point them in the right direction and give them guidance about what you should be doing with your life. And most people, let's be honest, most people ain't gonna take it. Just take, even with like the spiritual and the woke stuff, I'm about to say most people aren't gonna take it. Nobody is going to take, if people would rather take their own advice than to listen to like a random person try to tell them what they should be doing. And more times often than not, they just won't do it just because they won't do it. They don't want to. They don't know you. They don't. People take their own advice, and I heard an old head say, like, sometimes the worst thing you can do is take your own advice. But like I said, who knows in the grand scheme of life who's right or who's wrong? But let's say you had the right answer. Let's say, for example, like, let's say me, I believe in this spiritual shit so much, I believe like that's the only path that is the truth path, the truest path. And let's say I'm talking to somebody else that's ignorant or asleep, that's unaware of this information. I could be telling this information, and I could be, like I said, I can be telling it from a good place in my heart. I can try to be kind to them. I can try to be, you know, nice as I can and kind, but they still won't receive it. And most of the time that happens just because people don't need to be receiving that information, for one. Two, certain people, when they get a hold of that information, it's like they go crazy to a certain extent, right? And with them going crazy is liable to fuck their whole life up. Like, and I was kind of getting at this at it's another video I made, I forgot, but I was speaking about how religion, like how people need religion. Like, the average person needs religion because they need it to be able, I mean, for once, religion is just simple. It's in a book. It's not like you got to not like you got to discover who your God, what God you following. You don't got to discover what practices you need to do. They got the principles laid out for you, and you need to go by them. Like, simple, if you want to get into heaven, or if you want to get closer to God, this is what you must do. And it's easy to pick up. But also, some people have been so accustomed to these religions for so long that is something they already know, and there's no reason for them to just throw that out and try to pick up another system, because usually it's almost like moving, right? It's like moving a lot of energy in one direction to another direction, like, especially when the other direction isn't so easy to even come into awareness about, but also there's no, of course, it's not a physical manifestation with the Bible, but it's more people doing it. Or any other religions, you can visibly see these type of churches and just the mosque and all these things. It's the physical places that you can go to, you know, to worship. So going on the spiritual path is very hard to even do, because sometimes the spiritual path is really inwardly. It's in your own mind. It's in your own sacred space that you need to go to. But that's part of the reason why religion is so, I guess, it's more easily, that's where people go to more times often than not, just because it's easy. Like I said, some people don't even think about it that hard and they don't want to. But in saying that, they are ignorant to a certain extent. And let's say, like I said, with the woke, the spiritual stuff, the truth of reality, people aren't built for it. So when you trying to tell somebody that, it's like trying to nuke somebody's world. Like, somebody, most people, not even most, everybody go through their life and they conceive their notions and their concepts about how the world is and how the world's supposed to be ran, right? And think about a person just trying to bring the truth. It fucks up everything. It fucks up the system. Just because, let's say, the system is naturally corrupt. So what you bring in the truth is like it's damn near like killing somebody. Like the thing about knowing the truth and not knowing the truth is that when you know the truth, it's like when you know better, you do better. And you cannot go backwards. It's like you got to start a whole new life. You got to start a whole new way of thinking. You got to create a whole new way of living. And most people are very comfortable in their way of thinking and their way of living. So when people are trying to threaten them with the truth and behind, let's say, the outer reality and the inner reality, really, like, that's when they start to get dangerous. That's when they start to just shun, like, I mean, the best thing they could do is like just ignore you, but some people get very violent about it. And you even seen this like in the Matrix and stuff, like when Cypher, when he got pulled out the Matrix, and like he like, damn, like this shit was a fucking mistake. And then the agent was talking to him, he like, bro, fuck all this shit. And he like, bro, I'm about to go back in. But basically, even though he was going back in, he was corrupting everything in the outside world. He's sitting there about to kill fucking Morpheus' team. And this is in the first movie, if you haven't seen it, my bad. But he like, damn, like, this shit is not worth anything. I'm about to go back inside. And it's like, that's how it is in reality. It's like, you can't just turn back around. I mean, you can, but I think that's called cognitive dissonance. And that's really what people go through a lot. But when they hold these deep, let's say it could be a lie. When they hold these lies deep and hold them like against their heart, and they not willing to let them go, they'll take a lie before they take like the harsh truth. They take a beautiful lie before they take the harsh truth. And I think that's something that rings true amongst a lot of people. Even with myself, I had to get over a lot of the things that I was lying to myself about just because it was just making me feel better, but it was keeping me in the same spot long term. So you must learn to have compassion for these people, because for one, ignorance is bliss, but also the fact of sometimes people don't need to know this information. I about to say I think the positive thing is that you want people to know better. They want to know the truth of things, is because everybody deserves the truth, no matter if you did right or wrong. The truth is like God says, it's like everybody needs it. That truth is like medicine that you need. And my bad, y'all hear this? The washing machine drying. Machine sound stopping, but you got to understand that some people just aren't ready for the truth. They don't want the truth. The truth is really detrimental to they fake existence that they live through every day. And you have to realize that sometimes it's okay to let people live in their illusions, because realistically, everybody wasn't meant to be broken out their illusions. Some people are just meant to live and die there. And we see this with people every day. It's like, you realize like some people just have ways of thinking, and until they can break their own self out of that type of way of thinking, they will be there until they die. And I think that's another sad, it breaks my heart that people really gonna die in a sad state or in a negative state where they like, damn, just because they couldn't break out their ways. But to raise another point, I think Bobby Hemmett said it in a lecture. It's the old lecture from the 90s. He was like, think about somebody, let's say one person, they asleep, they got an alarm clock to wake them up at 12 noon, right? And then let's say you, the truth speaker, they got the truth and just the answer to everything, try to come in there at 6 a.m. and wake them up. They gonna look at you like you crazy, and they gonna really get upset with you, because why are you coming in there at 6 a.m. in the morning trying to wake them up to go somewhere when they said when they got their alarm set for 12 noon? Like, anybody that's asleep or anybody in that perspective or in that situation don't want to be woken up. So it's kind of like how it is with the ignorant people. Some people just want to be ignorant. They don't have no problem with being ignorant. They have zero problem with not knowing things. Especially when not knowing things take things off of their plate, off a responsibility off their plate, so they don't have another thing to worry about. So you have to respect that. You must allow people to just be stuck in that way, like, for real. Like, you have to allow them to be just like that, and Like I said, it just exists like that. I mean, and I think I forgot what book I was reading, but it was like the people that are asleep are hard at work. And even though they may not be in that level of awareness that you may be, you got to understand that they still doing their job, whether they awoke or not, or whether they're aware or not. They still doing their job that they supposed to be doing, that they was in here to do, just like you. Or even just, they just doing their part in the natural reality or just existence, period. So yeah. If y'all like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Thank you.